Mars was a quiet world. It was known as the Red Planet. Its soil was the color of rust and its sky was a soft pink. Great cities with tall, shining towers dotted the landscape. These were the homes of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki were brilliant scientists. They were very tall and looked like ancient gods from old stories. They wore long, flowing robes of white and blue, and on their heads they wore beautiful headbands made of pure gold. They were a peaceful people who loved to learn and create. They did not need to speak with their mouths. Instead, their thoughts traveled through the air, from one mind to another, clear as a bell. The Anunnaki had been working on their greatest project. It was a secret project, hidden deep inside their biggest laboratory. They had worked for a very long time. Finally, they were finished. They had created something new, something wonderful. They had created humans. These humans were made to be kind and smart, just like their creators. The humans were sleeping in special glass pods, waiting for the right moment to awaken. The Anunnaki looked at their creation with pride. They hoped the humans would one day build their own great civilizations. They would be guardians of a beautiful blue planet far away. But the Anunnaki were not alone in the universe. Other beings watched them from the shadows of space. These beings were called the reptilian beings. They were not kind or peaceful. They were scaly and cruel, with cold, unblinking eyes. They looked like giant lizards that walked on two legs. The reptilians were warriors, and they wanted power more than anything. They traveled the cosmos in dark, menacing spaceships, always looking for new worlds to conquer and new creatures to enslave. They'd heard whispers of the Anunnaki's new creation, and a greedy hunger grew within them. The reptilians saw the humans not as a new civilization to nurture, but as a new resource to exploit. They wanted the humans for themselves. They imagined armies of human slaves working in their mines and fighting their wars. The thought filled their cold hearts with a dark joy. They did not care about kindness or knowledge. They cared only for domination. So they set a course for the Red Planet. Their dark ships cut through the blackness of space, their intentions as sharp and dangerous as their claws. They were coming to take what was not theirs. The dark ships of the reptilian beings landed outside the main Anunnaki city. The air grew tense. The reptilians marched out of their ships. Their scales shimmered under the pink Martian sky. Their leader, a huge creature with a crown of sharp horns, demanded a meeting. The Anunnaki, being a peaceful race, agreed to the conference. They met the reptilians in a grand hall with high ceilings. The Anunnaki stood tall and calm. Their thoughts were clear. The reptilians hissed and snarled. Their thoughts were a storm of greed and anger. The reptilian leader made his demand. "Give us the humans!" His thoughts boomed into the minds of the Anunnaki. "They will serve us. They will be our workers, our soldiers. You have no use for them. You are scientists, not masters." The Anunnaki leader, a wise being with kind eyes, listened patiently. He stood silently for a moment, his golden headband gleaming. Then his reply came, firm and unwavering. "No." His thought echoed through the hall. "The humans are not slaves. They are a new beginning. They are meant for freedom, not for chains. We will not give them to you." The reptilians hissed in fury. Their claws scraped against the polished floor. "You defy us!" The reptilian leader's thought screamed. "You choose these weak creatures over us, then you will all perish!" Without another word, the reptilians turned and stormed out of the hall. They were not used to being told no. Their anger was like a fire, and it was about to burn the peaceful city of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki knew what was coming. They had to protect the humans. They had to act fast. The time for peace was over. The time for a fight had begun. Suddenly, the sky outside turned dark. The reptilian spaceships rose into the air. Red laser beams shot down from the ships. They struck the beautiful Anunnaki towers. The towers crumbled and fell. Explosions rocked the city. The Anunnaki scientists ran for cover. They were not warriors. They did not have weapons like the reptilians, but they had their knowledge, and they had their own ships. They had one chance to save the humans. They had to escape. They had to get the humans to their new home, a distant planet called Earth. Amid the chaos, a single Anunnaki ship rose into the sky. It was a sleek silver vessel built for speed and long journeys. Inside, precious cargo was safe, the sleeping humans in their pods. The ship shot away from Mars, leaving the burning city behind, but it was not alone. A reptilian warship, black and jagged like a piece of obsidian, broke away from the attack. It followed the Anunnaki ship into the blackness of space. A chase had begun. Green lasers fired from the reptilian ship. The Anunnaki pilot swerved and dodged, the ship twisting through the void. The Anunnaki ship was faster, but the reptilian ship had more weapons. The silver ship fired back with beams of blue energy. The two vessels danced a deadly ballet among the stars. They flew past giant gas planets and through fields of asteroids. The reptilian ship was relentless. It stayed right on the Anunnaki's tail. The Anunnaki knew they could not outrun their enemy forever. They had to find a place to hide. Their destination was close now, a small, beautiful planet swirled with white clouds and deep blue oceans. It was Earth. The two ships burst into Earth's atmosphere. They looked like falling stars to the people below. But then the battle began again. Laser beams, red and blue, crisscrossed the night sky. People on the ground looked up in fear and wonder. They had never seen anything like it. The ships flew low over towns and cities. A stray green laser from the reptilian ship hit the top of a house. Crack! The chimney exploded into pieces. Another beam hit another roof and then another. Bricks and soot rained down on terrified homeowners. The fight was loud and terrifying. People ran into their homes, hiding under tables. What were those lights? Why were their houses breaking? The Anunnaki ship took a direct hit. An alarm blared inside the cockpit. The ship was damaged. It could not fight much longer. The pilot had to do something drastic. With a final burst of energy, the Anunnaki pilot fired a powerful blue beam that struck the reptilian ship's main engine. The reptilian ship sputtered, smoke pouring from its side. It lost control and spun away, disappearing into the darkness of space, defeated for now. The Anunnaki ship hovered silently in the sky. The battle was over. But down below there was a mess. Houses had broken chimneys. People were scared and confused. What would happen now? The Anunnaki felt responsible for the damage. They had brought their war to this peaceful world. They had to fix what they had broken. Suddenly a new light appeared in the sky. It was not a laser beam. It was a soft, warm glow. The light grew brighter and brighter, then descended toward the damaged neighborhoods. It was coming from a large, circular UFO that had appeared as if from nowhere. Beams of light touched down on the streets. From within the light, figures began to appear. They looked like gods. They were tall and strong, just like the Anunnaki, but they were not scientists. They were clones, created for a special purpose. These worker clones wore simple uniforms. On their arms, each clone had a strange tattoo. It showed a chimney with a crown on top. Underneath the picture were the words, Empire Chimney Service. The clones did not look at the scared people. They went straight to work. They carried tools and ladders. One by one, the clones climbed onto the roofs. They began to fix the broken chimneys. They worked with amazing speed and skill. They replaced broken bricks. They patched up holes. They made everything look brand new, as if nothing had ever happened. The people of the town slowly came out of their houses. They watched in amazement. Who were these strange helpers? Where did they come from? The clones worked without a word, their movements precise and efficient. In no time at all, every single chimney was perfectly restored. As the clones finished their work, they walked back into the beams of light and disappeared into the UFO. The large ship hovered for a moment longer over the quiet town. Then a powerful, friendly voice boomed from the ship, echoing through the night. It was not a telepathic thought, but a clear spoken voice that everyone could hear. Empire Chimney Service, the voice announced. We restore chimneys, we install metal liners, and we give free estimates. The UFO then zipped away, leaving behind a town with perfectly fixed chimneys and very, very confused residents.